I really enjoy the grind. I enjoy being in the thick of it. I enjoy the learning. I enjoy the struggle. I enjoy the things that help me achieve a state of flow. The reason I decided to make this video is because I was recently watching Alex Hormozy's video where he talks about his experience on retiring at 31. He has a quote that he says in that video where he says, "Hard work is the goal."
Hard work is the goal. Right now, everyone's trying to shy away. Society's trying to tell us you shouldn't work. It's all about passive. It's blah, 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 blah. But work is the goal. And when you make work the goal, it allows the process itself to be meditative. It allows the process to get you into flow. And for most of us, flow is some of the best feelings that we can have in our experience because we truly are in the moment.
I was just like, man, that really makes a lot of sense. The goal is to work hard to get to that goal. Getting to that goal is not going to make you any happier than you were before you got to that goal. And I'm noticing that a lot. I've noticed it in my development career, and I've noticed it in my YouTube career, and I've just noticed that throughout life in general. I enjoy the work that goes into achieving something. When I tried to learn how to code and I wanted to get a job as a developer, I was just like, what do I have to learn to get a job? I didn't care how long it would take. Obviously, I wanted it to happen faster, but the only reason I got a job was because I showed up every day and I kept putting in that work and I grinded my ass off. I didn't care when it happened. All I knew is that if I kept doing it and I kept working hard, that I would eventually get there. And I'm realizing that applies to everything in my life now. I just had a huge run on YouTube over this last month. I went from about 27,000 subscribers to almost 46,000 subscribers. I think about all the work that went into that. And I think about like how much work is going to go into getting to the next step. The amount of subscribers doesn't really mean anything. It really doesn't. It's going to still take me just as much work to continue progressing and continue growing an audience and continue making good videos and getting more views and growing as a YouTuber and seeing like what's the next level and how far I can take this. I enjoy the grind. I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy pumping out content. Every time I get a wave on the algorithm, I start to feel like I don't know what to do. I don't know what kind of content to put out there. And I have to remind myself that I just need to keep doing what I was doing that got me here in the first place. If I just stick to doing what I was doing, I'll eventually get to that goal. When I start seeing the numbers roll in, that's exciting. But when it's all said and done, it's always back to the drawing board. It's always get back in there and make more videos, figure out how to make things better, and keep working on the goal, which is the hard work. Also, to add to what Alex Hormozy was talking about, I recently had a subscriber, shout out to 290 Revolver 290. He recommended that I check out Earl Nightingale's tapes, and he told me that I should start off with Direct Line. It seemed like something that would interest me. He commented on a video that I was talking about being unhappy, and I figured, why not? I should at least check this out. What's so crazy is that the first tape that I started listening to, tape 1 of the Direct Line, is talking about the same thing. And I actually jotted down a few notes when I was listening to that. And one of the things that he says is, happiness and contentment do not come when we reach our goals. We're amazed to find that we were happier, more contented when we were striving toward them. That's a quote from the first tape, which is like the same exact thing that Alex Hormozy was saying. And it was very interesting to find those two coincidentally together in such a short amount of time, because I literally like watched Alex's video and then I listened to the Earl Nightingale tape like just a week apart. I digress, but a couple of the other things about goals that I heard on that Earl Nightingale tape was, it's safe to say that with a mature person, his goals and what he considers to be important in life will not be those held by the majority. The fact that he has goals sets him apart. I know so many people who have no goals, who don't work hard, who are just happy getting by with the bare minimum, and they will avoid hard work at all costs. They're the same people that do not understand why their lives are the way they are. They're usually low effort people. They get no results in life, and they're doing the same thing they've been doing for the last 10, 20 years, and they're never going to change because they never want to work hard and they don't have any goals. And I don't ever want to be that person. I was that person for a good chunk of my life, and I can never go back to being that person. It's something that I don't want to do. I now have learned to embrace the hard work, and I now have learned to set goals for myself because I grew up in a way that I never thought about setting goals. Goals weren't a thing. I wasn't raised to think that way. Over the years, I've learned to change my way of thinking, and I've learned to start setting those goals, and I've learned to start working hard, because even though I've always had good work ethic, I never worked hard towards the right things. I went to my job, It was over, I'd go home, drink beer, smoke weed, do all the stupid stuff, play video games, and go party and spend money. And I just didn't want to work any harder than I had to because I just wanted to get by with the bare minimum. It really is a shame that so many of us never push ourselves to our full potential and never try to achieve more than just the bare minimum. And I think of this because of Carl Jung quote that Earl Nightingale mentioned in that first tape. The supreme goal of man is to fulfill himself as a creative, unique individual according to his own innate potentialities and within the limits of reality. The problem was when I was younger, I didn't know my own potential. And the reality of my reality was that I grew up poor and I didn't have a lot. And I always figured that that's just how things were supposed to be. It's not until I got older that I realized that I could actually change the course of my life and I can change my reality by trying to make improvements in the areas that needed improving. And when I actually did start focusing on trying to change my reality and trying to work to my full potential, I put in a lot of hard work and it ended up paying off. Once I did realize that, I started setting bigger goals and I focused and I worked hard and I accomplished them. But realize that you can make that change and change your reality. It's totally possible to do. We just don't realize that sometimes because we're just so accustomed to our surroundings and just accepting things for being a certain way and not knowing that realities can change and you can change over time. And I realized that the more I work towards accomplishing the things I want to accomplish, the more that stuff starts coming in. Don't be scared of working hard. Focus on what you want. Don't focus on achieving the goal. Appreciate the journey. Super cheesy quote that you always hear everyone say. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's so true, and I'm starting to learn that now. Getting distracted by the destination prevents me from working hard on the journey. And that's where you need to put all your focus on. And I am approaching things that way now because it really is the only way that you can accomplish your goals that you set out to is to put in the hard work and embrace the grind. Don't worry about the end game. The end game is bullshit because every time you get to the end game, there's going to be a new expansion and there's going to be the next edition of the game that comes out and you're never actually going to get to that goal line. It's just always going to keep moving. So just focus on what you can focus on, which is putting in the hard work to get to those things. All right, I'm done talking. That's all I got. I hope this video was helpful. I'm gonna go back to trying to produce as much content as I can and grinding out on YouTube how I've been doing it so far and just try to keep giving you guys good quality videos and just focus on doing what I want to do with this channel, which is just helping people out and talking about my life and bullshit and anything else that might, bring in some views and help some people. All right, with all that said, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.